How to start a car dealership and make $360,000 a year profit. There's a massive need for car dealerships because interest rates are super high right now. People cannot afford to buy the pricey new vehicles, so they're looking for a cheaper alternative, and you can take advantage of this by starting a business, a used car dealership today. My name's Nate Jones. I post a video every single day, either how to start a business, how to grow a business, how to potentially buy a business, and how to get to the next level on your entrepreneurial journey. So if you like that type of content, hit like and subscribe. Let's hop into this. Today I'm going to tell you how much it's going to cost to start this used car dealership, how much you're going to make, how much you're going to cash flow and profit, and some tips on making sure that this business is going to go very smooth for you. So the startup cost is going to be a little bit variable depending on where you're at, but for a dealer bond, license, and insurance is going to be about $3,000 at the beginning. Once we add in our inventory, you could be anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 paying for that inventory depending on where you're located. If you're in a hail area or a hurricane area, it could be even more for the hazard insurance. But let's go into the vehicle inventory. A good startup cost is going to be about $200,000 we're going to need, and we can finance this to get our fleet of about 8 to 10 vehicles. So $200,000 of money to go buy vehicles at auction. Our property rent for a good retail location that has a good parking lot where we can store our used cars is going to be about $2,000 a month. Is going to be about $24,000 a year that we're going to have to spend on that. So our total startup cost is going to be around $227,000. Okay. If we use financing, we're going to have to put at least 25% down on a business loan. A 10% 10-year note is going to be about $56,750 of a down payment to get a loan amount of $170,250, which puts us at a $2,250 a month monthly payment on our loan. Okay. Now, I probably depressed you on that. There's a lot of, decent down payment there, some other expenses, but let me lift you up with how much we can make here. The average profit per sale, right? We say we use our $200,000. How much are we going to sell the vehicles for? What's the profit? It's going to be anywhere from 10 to 35%. I use an average of 25%. That you're going to be basically marking up the car, and that's what you're going to be a profit is going to be 25%. The average car cost that we're going to buy with our $200,000 is going to be $25,000. So that means that allows us to buy 8 cars for our lot. So we're going to start with 8 cars on our lot. Every time we sell a car, we should make 25% profit. We take whatever we sold the car for. So let's say it costs us $25,000. We sell the car for $28,000. We're going to take that $25,000 back out, and we're going to take the profit or whatever the profit is, and we're going to keep the profit, but we're going to reinvest and buy that basically the same like car to go sell another one. Okay, so I'm really kind of taking out the profit here, ripping out the profit so we can at least see how much we profit. So you're investing everything that you've sold back in, but you're taking the profit and putting it aside, okay? You could potentially take the profit down the road and reinvest and buy more cars, but just for this first year scenario, we're going to talk about how much we're going to profit here, okay? So average number of days it takes a used car to turn over is 49 days. Now, depending on where you're at, it can be more, it could be less. 49 days. So if we have one vehicle and we reinvest and we buy it after, and the same one after we sell it, we're going to be able to turn over about 7.5, 8 times. So that means we're going to be able to have 8 vehicles from that one vehicle. We're going to be able to sell 8 times essentially. So we have, does that make sense? So basically, you sell a vehicle, you reinvest, you buy another one. Another 49 days, you're going to be able to do that 8 times throughout the year. The average profit per turnover, right? If we sell all 8 of our vehicles, is going to be about $40,000 to $50,000. I'm going to use an average of 45. So we sell all 8 vehicles, we make 25% profit. Let's say we sell them, it's going to be more than this, but let's say $200,000, right? A 25% profit is $50,000, but we're going to use 45 here. So our annual profit for 8 turnovers at $45,000 profit per turnover is going to be $360,000 a year. A good conservative number is probably around $300,000. Okay, so you're making $300,000, $360 profit. Let's use $360. $360,000 a year from your selling profit, minus the down payment of $56,750, minus the monthly payment, 11 payments that first year because the down payment's the first payment, $24,750, minus the rent of $24,000, minus the license, bond, and insurance is $3,000, put you at a gross profit of $251,500. So essentially, let's just kind of bring that down to $200. Let's say we have some other random expenses we don't know about. So there's $200,000 of gross profit here. Okay. So what you can do with that 200,000 is you can go buy 8 more vehicles, right? So you can reinvest back in, and you should be making more and more and make 400 in the next year. But so that's kind of how you scale a used car dealership and really reinvest back in. But, I'm going to talk through the positives here, and then I'm going to get into how you can really scale this moving forward. The positives is it's very profitable. Whatever you buy the car for, you should be selling it for more than what you paid for it. That doesn't always occur because sometimes you just get cars off your lot. I understand that. So this may be a little bit unrealistic. There's going to be a little bit more bumps in the road than what I've portrayed, but for the most part, this business is very profitable. Number two, it's always needed. People need cars. They need transportation to get around, and there's a shortage. People are trying to find cars. This is not a full-time job. That's a positive. Okay, so if you're running an 8-car dealership lot, you're not going to be working 8 hours a day. Okay, so that's the nice thing is you can run another business paired up with this business where you're still profiting. And what you really could do is say, hey, I'm going to reinvest everything back into this business, that $200,000 that we gross profit, and that's how I'm going to scale. So I would not run this business as your sole job. This would be more of a side hustle for me. Hey, I have a good business or a good job that I'm paying right now. I'm going to do the car dealership on the side that allows me to really blow up, because if you can reinvest that $200,000 back in, you're buying 8 more cars, so now you have 16. All your numbers double essentially. So now your gross profit is $400,000 to $500,000. You invest back in. Now you can buy 16 more cars. Now it's doubled again. So you can really see how this thing really scales up to really blow up. And if you're reinvesting back in and you're really good with your money. But yeah, that's how I would scale it, is I would make sure that this is a side hustle. I'm not depending on this income, because once you build your business to a certain size and it's kind of running itself, then you can really start to hire employees because you have the cash flow to do so. So then now it's not you having to show up and sell the cars all the time. You actually build a team of people and that are there to help you run your business. Then you can go on vacation and you can still sell cars. So that's the nice thing about having a business, that eventually you could sell that business, because I like to buy businesses. I don't want to buy a car dealership that I have to show up to every day, because I don't have time for that. I have other businesses. But if I buy a car dealership in which I can manage from afar, come in when I need to, more absentee, more passive, that's a business I want to buy, in which I would pay you a multiple of your profit for you to walk away and me to take over and get a return on my investment. Okay. So, the next thing we need to do before we start this business is I do this with every business that I own. I think of all the ways in which it won't work, all the ways in which it'll fail, and I'm the biggest critic of the business. So what I do is I say, okay, what's some ways that a car dealership would fail? Number one, I don't have any cars. It means I have the money, I have the loan, but what happened? I didn't spend time on online auctions. I didn't take a course on maybe how to buy cars, how to buy cars profitably. How can we do that to make sure that we're good at finding those good used cars that we can buy, online auction, in-person auctions, maybe off-market deals. We need to learn that. Next thing we need to do is we need to have quality cars. You need to make sure that you partner up with a local mechanic who can review the car, make sure everything's up to code, does an inspection, maybe you kind of warrant an inspection, and then when you sell the car, you want to be known as a dealership that's selling cars with a hole in the oil filter or something. You know what I mean? Like, you want to have quality cars so people trust you and they'll come back. Number three, you need to partner up with a financing company. People do not pay cash for cars very frequently, especially in the used car market. So you need to have some financing options available for your buyers. The next thing we need to do is we need to focus on the marketing. We need to do local marketing at our retail shop. We should have a lot of things showing that we're a car dealership. Have some balloons, flags, making sure that everybody knows that you're in business. Create a Facebook page, list your cars on Facebook, local marketing, and make sure your retail location is looking good so it looks presentable. Okay. The next thing we need to do is we need to consult with a local attorney, a local CPA, and a local insurance agent. The reason that we want to do that is because a local attorney is going to help us draft our purchase agreement and our customer agreements and making sure that we are doing everything we need to do when we sell a car. Also, our local CPA is going to help us set up our LLC and make sure that we're tracking our financials properly so we can be at a really good tax perspective when it comes to tax time, okay? The next thing, an insurance agent, you need to partner up with a local one that does commercial insurance so you can keep your costs down when you're insuring your vehicles and everything, okay? So, I always say becoming a business owner is the best decision I ever made. And if you're looking for a business that isn't going to take a ton of your time, it's going to require a little bit of capital. Maybe you have a little bit of capital you're wanting to put to work. This is a great business to do so. It kind of feeds itself. As long as you're making money on the cars that you're selling, you can continue to build and get more and more cars. and have a great business. So my name is Nate Jones. If you like today's video, I'm going to be posting more. Every day I post a video on how to grow a business, start a business, and how to buy a business. So if you like this type of content, hit like and subscribe.